A labor group fears that tens of thousands of Malaysian workers could end up losing their jobs following the US's decision to impose a 24% reciprocal tariff on Malaysian imports.
Assalamualaikum and hello to everyone. We are Group 9 and in this mini documentary, we will talk about one of Malaysia's major economic issues, which is unemployment. Unemployment means when people who are already unable to work cannot find a job. This problem became worse after the COVID-19 pandemic, especially for fresh graduates who lost jobs or couldn't find work that fits their skills. Unemployment affects not just individuals and families, but also the economic and society as a whole. In this video, we will explain the types and causes of unemployment, its effects, and the actions taken to solve it.
Now, let's move on to the different type of unemployment. The first one is frictional unemployment. Second is structural unemployment. Third is cyclical unemployment. And the last one is seasonal unemployment. So, let's talk more about frictional unemployment. This happens when people are temporarily out of work because they are either changing job or starting their first job. I will explain more about frictional unemployment. For example, someone might leave their current job to find a better one, or a recent graduate might be looking for their first job after school. It could also happen when someone decides to take a break before finding a new role. Unlike other type of unemployment, frictional unemployment is usually short-term and is a normal part of the job market. It is just the time it takes for people to find a job that suits their skills, interests, and goals. Even though it can be frustrating, this process is actually very important for a healthy job market. It shows that people are actively looking for roles where they can be more productive and satisfied.
Structural unemployment happens when there is mismatch between the skills workers have and the skills needed for a valuable job. This usually happens because of changes in the economy such as new technology, outsourcing, or changes in consumer demand. Next, cyclical unemployment happens when the overall demand for goods and service in an economy decreases, typically during a recession or economic slowdown. As business experience reduced profit and lower consumer spending, they often respond by cutting costs, usually by laying off workers. Seasonal unemployment happens when people are out of work at certain times of the year because their job depends on the season. It's common in industries like tourism, agriculture, retail, and construction, where demand for workers goes up or down depending on the time of year.
Pengangguran Malaysia pada Disember 2024 mencecah paras terendah sejak 116 bulan iaitu 3.1% dengan 544,000 penganggur.
In this slide, we can see the unemployment rate in Malaysia from 2014 to 2023. The unemployment rate has changed over the years and it changed that something about the economy. Starting in 2014, the unemployment rate was low at 2.88%. This showed that the job market was stable and the economy was doing well. From 2015 to 2019, the rate stayed around 3% to 3.4%. This means the job market was still steady with only small change. But in 2020, things changed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The unemployment rate jumped to 4.54%. This was expected as many businesses closed or reduced staff due to the pandemic. Industries like tourism and retail were especially hard hit. In 2021, the rate went up a little more to 4.64%. This showed that the economy was still recovering, but it was a slow process, with many people still struggling to find work. By 2022, things started to get better, and the unemployment rate dropped to 3.93%. This showed that the business was starting to reopen and the economy was improving. In 2023, the rate dropped even further to 3.86%, which is a good sign that the job market is getting better. To sum up, Malaysia faced a tough time in 2020 and 2021, but things are improving. The unemployment rate has been going down in recent years, showing that the economy is recovering and more people are finding jobs again.
Next, unemployment in Malaysia is caused by several interlinked factors. Firstly, the post-COVID academic slowdown led to many businesses shutting down or cutting back, which reduced job opportunities. Secondly, automation and digitalization are replacing many manual jobs, creating challenge for workers who lack digital skills. There are also mismatch between what students learn and what employer needs. On top of that, global economic issues like inflation and trade disruption also impact local job market. Lastly, young and graduate unemployment remain high due to limited job opening and intense competition. As a result, these factors contribute to the recurrent unemployment challenge in the country. The COVID-19 pandemic had a lasting impact on the economy. Many businesses shut down or operate at a reduced capacity, especially in the tourism, retail, and service sector. This led to widespread job loss and financial instability, making it difficult for companies to hire. Although recovery efforts are ongoing, the process is slow for some industries. This economic disruption continues to affect job availability and is a key reason for high unemployment rate in Malaysia. Technology is changing the way we work. With the increased use of AI, robotic and digital systems, many routine and manual jobs are now done by machine. While this makes businesses more efficient, it also means fewer opportunities for workers without digital skill. Many employers struggle to adapt, leading to what we call structural unemployment. To stay competitive in the job market, it's important for workers to upskill and embrace digital tools and technology.
For example, the invention of the automobile led to the creation of millions of new jobs in the auto industry. However, it also led to the displacement of workers.
Next, mismatch of skills between education and industry demand. Today, one of the most pressing challenges we face is the growing mismatch between education and industry needs. While students graduate with strong theoretical foundations, many lack the hands-on skills employers require. This gap makes it increasingly difficult for industries to find qualified candidates for specific roles. Ultimately, it leads to high unemployment rates among graduates who, despite their degrees, are unprepared for the workforce. Bridging this gap is essential for both economic growth and individual career success. Next, global economic factors. Global economic factors are increasingly influencing business decisions and employment trends. A slowdown in international trade has led to reduced demand for exports, directly impacting industry reliant on foreign markets. At the same time, inflation is raising operational costs, forcing many businesses to cut expense. Ongoing global conflicts and disruption in supply chains only add to the uncertainty. As a result, companies are becoming more cautious, holding back on hiring and expansion plans until stability returns. And the last one is youth graduate and unemployment. Youth and graduate unemployment remains a pressing concern. In many urban centers, job competition is fierce, leaving many qualified candidates without suitable roles. As a result, graduates often take jobs unrelated to their field just to make ends meet. This unemployment not only wastes potential but also lead to dissatisfaction and low morale. A common challenge is the lack of experience, which many employers demand, creating a paradox for young job seekers who need opportunities to gain that very experience.
Hi, I'm going to talk about the impacts of unemployment. Let's start with the economic impact. First, when many people are unemployed, the government earns less money through income taxes. At the same time, the government has to spend more on support like unemployment benefits. So overall, there is less income but more expenses. This puts a strain on the national budget. Second, unemployment slows down economic growth. When people are not working, they spend less money. That means businesses make fewer sales and may even have to lay off more workers. It becomes a cycle that's hard to break. In the long run, it weakens the economy and affects everyone, not just those who are employed. Now let's move on to the social impact. Unemployment doesn't only affect money, it affects people's lives. Many people lose confidence and self-respect when they don't have a job. It can lead to mental health problems like stress, anxiety, or depression. Relationships may suffer and it becomes harder for people to stay motivated. The worst part is high employment can cause political and social problems. People become frustrated and may lose trust in the government. There might be more protests, strike, or even an increase in crime. Society becomes more divided, and that's dangerous for everyone. So as we can see, unemployment is not just an economic issue, it's a serious social issue.
The third impact of unemployment is impact on country. It can lead to higher payment from state and federal government for unemployment benefits, food assistance and Medicaid. Even those receiving government support can't spend at prior levels. The production of these workers leaves the economy. This reduces the gross domestic product (GDP) and moves the country away from the efficient allocation of its resources. The figures show that youth unemployment and GDP growth rate in Malaysia. The data demonstrated that there is a positive association between youth unemployment and economic growth, but that this relationship is not statistically significant in Malaysia. The result indicates that youth unemployment has a growing impact on economic growth.
There are three efforts and suggestions from government. First, program like Penjana Kerjaya, Upskilling and Reskilling Initiative and My Future Jobs. Second, rule of SOC, SO, HRDF and MOHR. And the third one is your group suggestion to improve job matching and create job opportunities. Penjana Kerjaya is an employment incentive program by SOC, SO aimed at encouraging employers to hire local workers through wages, subsidies and training allowance. Upskilling and Reskilling Initiative help Malaysians acquire or improve skill to become more competitive in the job market. My Future Job is a national job matching platform by SOCSO that offers job opportunities, career counseling and profiling service to match candidates with suitable employers. Second, role of key agency. SOCSO, Social Security Organization, provide employment service through My Future Job, wages subsidy program, and job placement support. Social Security Organization also plays a role in retraining and job coaching. HRDF, Human Resources Development Fund, offer financial assistance to employers to employ training program, including upskilling and reskilling initiatives that align with industry demand. And the last, MOHR, Ministry of Human Resources, coordinates national labor policies, collaborates with industry and training providers, and ensure labor market stability through strategic planning and implementation of employment initiatives. Third is a suggestion to improve job matching and create job opportunities. Improve digital platform like My Future Job with better user experience and AI matching. Boost industry collaboration to align training with current and future job market needs. Promote emerging sector through incentive and training in areas like green energy, teach and healthcare. Enhance career guidance in school to align student choice with market trends. Support gig workers with protection, benefit and upskilling opportunities.
As we have seen, unemployment in Malaysia is not just a short-term problem. It's caused by many factors, including skills mismatches, the impact of the pandemic, and seasonal job gaps. These issues affect real lives, families face financial stress, productivity goes down, and social problems may increase. The good news is, programs like My Future Jobs and Penjana Kerjaya show that targeted efforts can make a difference. But to truly reduce unemployment, we need to work together, such as build stronger connections between universities, college, and industries to close the skills gap. Unemployment is a shared challenge, and we can only solve it through unity and action. Let's turn this challenge into a chance to build a stronger, more inclusive future for all Malaysians.